Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. So yeah, for AVAX just continues to be the message that it is just super weak and it really needs to do something. Otherwise we are here at big risk. So my view is, even if we make one more swing low, this can have disastrous effects for AVAX. I mean, the very last chance it really has is to hold here at pretty much $10, yeah, that swing low here. I mean, if we go below that, I think we can see sub $1 AVAX. And while this might sound like a massive, great discount, it is really not preferable, because if a coin that used to cost $150 drops to a level below $1, it is disastrous and really bad for the sentiment around this coin. So we can only hope that AVAX holds the current level, or really in the very worst case drops to $10 but then recovers fairly quickly. The problem is, and I did explain it in the previous video, that AVAX really needs to hold above the 88.7% FIB level here at $25. Now obviously it's not doing that. This is basically here the target area for this current wave 2, in which we are between $25 and $40. And it should really hold this level. I mean, it's trying to get back into it, but it's hovering just below that level. And what is currently happening here, unfortunately, looks just very corrective, in a sense that what is currently happening here in this slight uptrend here, making higher lows but also lower highs, but this looks very corrective, like a trend continuation pattern. Well, we have a descending wedge here, and that's fine, but you need to bear in mind we are making lower lows here, and within this sort of wedge pattern we can draw a symmetrical triangle. So basically a trend continuation pattern to the downside. What do you do if you have a bullish pattern, which would be that descending wedge, and a bearish pattern, in this case the symmetrical triangle, because it's a trend continuation pattern? Well, it's not a problem, because you normally should wait to make your decision until we have a breakout, because nobody knows in which direction the breakout will be. It is only probabilities, and we should always wait for confirmation. At least that is my view, and therefore it doesn't really matter if you have a bullish and a bearish pattern mixed. It doesn't matter, because the breakout is what counts, and this is what is worth waiting for. Yeah, but even here in this symmetrical triangle now, we are moving into the apex here, and we need to see a decision, ideally to the upside. A swing low below 21.49 would be bad. I think it could really push AVAX down to that $10 level. Now we can have a look at the VPVR if there is any significant support before that, but you can see here when we drop below that, there's really like a big hole here in this VPVR. I mean, it shows some support around the $12 mark, so that might be where we are slowing down, yeah. And then having those swing lows here as last psychological support, really at $10. So around the $12 mark, we might actually find support. Might not drop down to $10 straight away, but it is still quite a steep drop from $24, pretty much 50%. Still possible very easily here for AVAX, but we are then in an area which is very dangerous, because we are already below the 88.7% Fibonacci retracement level. And also really for AVAX at the moment, at least, I don't really want to give you upside targets for a wave 3, because it is really one of the coins that looks worst. Yeah, from all coins I cover, it is probably the coin that I'd rather not touch, at the moment at least. Yeah, I'm not saying this couldn't turn around, and when it turns around, absolutely, I'm open for everything here. But at the moment, and this is just a momentary picture of the chart, I'm not happy with the AVAX chart, and that hasn't changed. I mean, overall, what we can see on the chart is here a bullish divergence on the on the daily RSI. But this is really the only thing that is sort of bullish, and there's only a first indicator. And it's actually quite normal when you have a descending wedge to also have a bullish divergence. In the end, it just means that the downtrend is slowing down, which is also not a surprise after such a long move down here. And yeah, I mean, this could become something. This could at some point break to the upside. But if it does that, first of all, the price needs to go back into this target area above the 88.7% fib level, which means above $25.68, then above the 78.6% fib level, which is $40. So if it moves above $40, that is definitely a good sign. It would then also move here above the red line, which is the 50-day moving average, and then we can start to think about, okay, maybe the low was already in. Yeah, but what I also have to tell you, below $103, the overall downside potential is still significant, because on the daily here, this is the significant swing high, and to end the downtrend, you want to move above the swing high and the wave X here, and we just need to do that from a technical point of view, and that is just a massive increase. That is roughly 350% upside needed from here to reduce the downside potential significant, and that is definitely not good, yeah, because it is a mammoth task also for an altcoin. And even here on the 4-day chart, which is very meaningful for the medium term, massive short signal is still on the ADX. The RSI doesn't really move, very, very weak, and the MACD also not really doing a lot here. So very skeptical currently about AVAX, also here from a medium-term point of view and longer-term point of view. I mean, yes, you could call it oversold, but all that means that the RSI is so low, it means that there is a downtrend in play. There is just no bullish momentum at the moment. So be careful about that. And we made even a lower low on the MACD at the moment. Yeah, and we don't see a sign of turning around here on the weekly. So this is all for me red flags, and I'm extremely careful here currently with AVAX. So before I touch AVAX again, I would want to see it turn around. So I'm actually not pleased about this chart at all. And yeah, this is a message, unfortunately, that I have to give you as well sometimes. And I can tell you it is one of the charts from all the coins that I cover that probably is at the lower end of the trust scale for me. There are certainly charts that look worse, for example, Blocktopia, but yeah, AVAX pretty much looks like the Luna chart, with the exception that we haven't moved to zero. But what I said before, the chart already has a corrective wave pattern built in, because I can very easily count this in a corrective way as well. I can't do that with every chart, but I can do it with AVAX, and I could do it with Luna. Not that I forecasted the Luna to zero, absolutely not. But looking at it now, it really shows that, you know, that there was a correction built into the Luna chart, which means that if such a chart is hit by a fundamental issue that is quite strong, it can completely smash that coin. And we have the same problem with AVAX. So all it would need is a significant fundamental event, which happens all the time in crypto. And if such an event hits a chart like that, big risk. Yeah, and this is just something I need to point out as well here. And we don't have such a corrective chart picture on every coin. This is quite the exception at the moment, and AVAX unfortunately is one of the coins that show such a corrective wave pattern. At the moment, the wave count you can see here is bullish. Yeah, because I'm primarily not expecting that it goes to zero or anything, but it is another very likely pattern, because if it's not this 1-2, 1-2, which is bullish, which would be followed by a wave 3, then it is corrective. And it is, you know, I can't say that for any coin, right? This is here quite specific for AVAX, and unfortunately Luna looked very similar. All right, that is my view about AVAX at the moment. I'll keep you updated. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.